Alright everyone, so if you watched one of the last videos, you know that we came up with an absolute ingenious strategy to finally get a couple of amazing pulls now that we have the ×2 Void Shot event with Solana as the ×10 champion. There we go. And it was simply to go onto the alternate account first, my free-to-play account, pull all my Void Shots there, get nothing but crap, and now save all of the RNG for the main account where we're really going to pull. So the tactic has been working exceptionally well. We pulled only bad champions, pretty much only rares. So all of the RNG and all of the good luck is now accumulated on the main account, which we're jumping into because we're now going to pull for the real event. So I'm going to try and see if I can get a little bit lucky and get a legendary. Hopefully it's going to be Solana. Maybe I even get two, who knows. 50, 60 shards. Have to check a little bit if I'm actually willing to get all of them. But either way, we're going to jump in right now and see what we're going to get. So with a bit of luck today, the outcome is going to be a bit happier than what we saw on the free-to-play account. So let's jump straight in. So this is Solana the Gleaming, definitely one of the better champions that is currently in the rotation. It was recently released, and obviously he has a lot of synergy also going on with the current Fragment champion. So that's kind of the ×10 that we're trying to pull for. Now don't get me wrong, at this point in time, if I get another legendary on the Void side, I'm probably going to be happy no matter what the pull is. Maybe I'm exaggerating slightly here. If I pull another Visix, I'm obviously going to have a tough time accepting that. But we're going to start pulling a little bit and see how much we're going to get. I also need it, obviously, for the summoning event. We have in total roughly 60 shards that I can pull right now. And the hope is to get a couple of useful ones. Obviously, on the epic side, technically speaking, I could still get a couple of useful champions as well. I don't really expect that, to be honest. Maybe I can get something to upgrade some of the ones that I'm already using, but generally speaking, we're really looking for legendaries here at the end of the day. So if I can pull one, maybe two with the picks that I have here, that would be awesome. 60 shards is alright, it's not really the most, but yeah, I just think my mercy system is fairly
low
because I didn't keep track of it, and I pulled Senna, I think, either in the last ×2 or in the one before. So it's not like that I didn't get anything recently. On the first one, Lightspawn, Towering Titan, nothing really to speak of here. So with our next pull, let's see what we're going to get. A couple more epics. I have both of them. Madame Saris, honestly, these days I don't really use her anymore. She has basically lost most of her value with Arena just being dominated by a couple of other combinations. You also have now, for example, others like Hilvi that can easily just try and strip the debuffs, or sorry, the buffs on the other side, and then even apply a freeze. So upgrading my Saris at least to like a +4 for old time's sake is probably nice, but it's not something that I'm really going to use here. Ethlin I have as well. So no new pulls there either. That's 20 deep, and with another 10 we make it 30. And get another Shamail. I think my current Shamail is on a +2 or +3, so this is actually going to boost him a little bit more. Mainly a champion. Actually, no, it's not only someone that I use in Hydra occasionally when I'm trying to farm the Fearhead, but it's also somebody that I utilize in Faction Wars, especially if I need a single target damage dealer. I mean, better alternatives, but Shamail not useless on my accounts is something that gets used. But so far, nothing new, no legendary. Let's go for the next 10 pulls. That makes it 40 then. And in this case, we are getting another Lightspawn. Skrank, I have two. Again, only dupes that we get here. Still stuff that I can upgrade. But I'm hoping for at least one legendary today. A little bit of RNG. Come on, Plarium. We saved all of the RNG. That was the master plan for the main account, and that makes it 50, so another 10. This does not look good. A dupe on my Thorn Golem is what we're getting, so that's going to be an upgrade. That leaves us with 9 shards, and yeah, I have a feeling this might just end up like it did on the free-to-play account. So far, no legendary in sight. Now, with 60, the increased chance, you know, hopes are high. But I think the only thing we're feeding today is the mercy system. So, I think while this is all active, I might still have the chance to get 1 or 2 more void shards through clan boss or whatnot, but yeah, right now it really doesn't look good. We have another 5 left, and even what we got on the epic side wasn't really that fantastic. There are a few that I will upgrade into a +1, a +2. I think my Shamael will be a +4 now. But that's about it. Aniri, I have a couple of those as well. So I think this is going to be my 3rd, so I can upgrade the one that I'm using too. I mean, she's great, obviously. Aniri is fantastic. I basically have mine set up for Sand Devil at this point in time. That's the only real area where I use her. Occasionally I throw her into Faction Wars, but that's her main purpose for me. And again, she's great. I absolutely like my Aniri. She's awesome. The dupe is not going to help me a whole lot, but hey, upgrading the champions that you already have is never really going to hurt too much. You can then later on use them maybe Grim Forest or in some other special boss rotations that come along. But yeah, doesn't really look good for our legendary here today. So another couple of rares. There's a lot of food that we're actually getting. I still have to go through the champion training event, so having all of those food champions is going to help with that a bit too. It's going to cost me quite a bit of energy, but yeah. And yeah, that leaves us with the final shard, guys. Like, I don't know. So in total, how many voids does this make? How many did we pull on the free-to-play account? I think it was 15, right? So in total, roughly 75 pulled, and not a single legendary from the looks of it. And come on. No. Another epic, so I get another Skull Crown. I think this is going to upgrade my current Skull Crown to... She might actually already be +4. But she's going to get pretty high up to +4 if she isn't yet. But unfortunately, we again have no legendary. So, yeah, times are tough. 59 pulled. Let me quickly see on the upgrades when we're empowering a couple of champions. I'm not going to go through all of them right now that I still have available here. But yeah, so Shamael is going to get his +4. It's kind of nice. That gives him the extra speed, so that's kind of neat. So him at maximum right now. This is already going to be a nice one. I believe, yeah, Skrank is going to be on +4 as well. So that's going to help too. So we have him also a little bit stronger. Mainly use him, if at all, in occasionally faction wars, depending on, you know, what kind of thing you have to complete in order to make sure that you're gonna get a 3-star. So sometimes having the extra, I'm a little bit confused here. So not quite sure. Is she already +4? Yeah, seems like my Skull Crown is already +4. Alright, so let's upgrade Ceres real quickly. She deserves it. She served me well for a long time. But yeah, as I was about to say, like with Skrank, for example, when you're talking about the HP burn, sometimes you have to go through the restriction where you need that in order to properly upgrade or properly get like a 3-star result. So that kind of makes sense. And in that context, having all of those champions a little bit higher helps you, and then you can obviously utilize them in some of the other PvE areas too. So Skull Crown seems to already be +4. Aniri, we're going to upgrade later. I have to check the numbers a little bit. I don't want to screw with any of the setups that I currently use her in, because I don't really think that I need to improve her by any means. But yeah, that's pretty much the situation right now with the pulls. So a little bit unlucky. With some luck, I might still get another Void, but I was honestly hoping for at least a Legendary. I didn't really have high hopes that I would pull Solana, but I thought that with the increased hit rate here, I would at least get one Legendary. Now, it's a 1% chance. It's not like I pulled 100, so RNG wasn't with me here today. But that's what it is. The only thing that probably worked quite alright is the champion chase. So pretty far up here. I might actually pull a couple of other champions just to go to the legendary book. I'm honestly not quite sure about this. The most important thing was obviously to get the fragments that I need. So all of the fragments are already in. I think we can pull the relics real quickly too. Another 1,000 to get to the next legendary book. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do that. It depends a little bit on if I'm over the next few days getting some additional voids. But let's get the relics out of the way here as well real quickly and see if we maybe luck out on some of these. So first one, and well, not too bad. Removes all debuffs from the wearer whenever they lose 70% or more HP from damage by an enemy in a single turn. Is that actually good? I'm a little bit torn right now. I mean, it's a legendary, and I like that we have speed as our level 9 unlock for it, but the buff as well. you obviously can enter and can slot a lot of gems in. You have resistance in there, but yeah, whenever do you lose 70% or more HP from by an enemy in a single turn? When does that happen? And I assume with enemies they mean a single champion, right? So it's essentially like a one-target nuke, and you have to survive it. If you are using that in arena, that's usually not really a thing, and this seems like something that at least in where would I use it? Would I actually use that in something like I don't know, PvE? Not quite sure how useful it is. I think you can definitely find a couple of areas where you can utilize that. I don't really think that it's that big for Arena, to tell you the truth. If you have a really good nuking team on the other side and they get half the turn, then usually you are already done. So it's interesting that it removes all of the debuffs, but it feels a bit more that just the stats alone with the resistance, speed, and HP are going to help you, and then the gems that you can slot in. The legendary effect itself probably not that great, but either way, I'm gonna look into this a little bit more. Still thinking a bit, okay, where would I use this? Maybe on a revive. Would I use it on a damage dealer? That's more on a squishy side, but it doesn't prevent death, so that's the next thing. But we got one more, so let's see what we're gonna get here. And well, we're gonna get another demonic effigy, which we obviously already have quite a few of. So yeah, that's pretty much the situation right now. So it seems like RNG is still running away from us and nowhere to be found. Now, again, I hope that you guys were more lucky. If anybody actually pulled Solana, then hey, congratulations, you did it. Unfortunately for me, I still have to wait. Can't really complain too much. I pulled Senna just a month or two ago. So with that in mind, I think my RNG was used up. But alright, either way. So today wasn't about to happen. Anyways, hope that you guys had some nice pulls. I at least got my fragments that I needed, so that's already a step into the right direction, and then we'll see. Maybe I get lucky in the clan boss over the next 1 or 2 days and are able to pull a few more. So thanks for watching, everybody. Hope that you had more luck with your pulls, and let me know in the comments if you got anything interesting. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see all of you in the next one. Bye-bye. Okay, editing Kaldor here. So I just got another 2 ancients, and well, sorry, not ancients, voids, and I decided from the clan boss, and I decided to pull them, and I was like, yeah, well, I'm not gonna record that. It's gonna be 2 rares, and on my last one, I actually got a legendary. So I'm a little bit torn. I'll show you real quickly what I got, but yeah, this is at least a win, I suppose. But here's what happened when I pulled my second legendary. I got, drumroll, a Warlord, my first one. So, on the one hand, I'm actually very, very happy. This is a champion that I wanted for a long, long time. He's obviously fantastic in arena, offense, defense. You can use him also in faction wars. I'm not so sure if these days he's really still that good. I have a couple of really nice champions that basically also fill his role, I'd say. But obviously you have now all of a sudden a chance to really put everybody on cooldown on the other side. You deplete their turn meters. So he's a really nice tool to have in your arsenal. I suppose I'm going to be happy about this because it's A, not a dupe. It's B, also somebody that I can use in a lot of different environments. Siege, for example. When it comes to Tag Team Arena, which I now play a little bit more since they introduced the quick battle, so there's another one that I can use in that context. You have the block debuffs over here, and yeah, honestly, I'm pretty happy about the pull. Did not really expect it. I really didn't believe that I would get anything good today, but yeah, we got a Warlord, so I suppose that is at least a nice surprise at the end of this video. So I got a little bit lucky, a bit of a twist to all of this. Once again, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next